hello to whoever is watching, and welcome to hopefully a new series. So for those who do not know, I do a comic book series on this account called Talking Comics, where I talk about some old and some new comics, and basically the main story of that comic while going into things I like about it. But the main thing I don't do in those videos is go into spoilers. But with this video series, I will be using a random spinning wheel to land on a random issue of a comic series that I like. Most of these issues I've picked because I enjoy them. I very much want to talk about stuff I like most of the time, and it just spreads more awareness for people to check out some comic issues, older or newer. Fantastic Four issue 55 is about Ben Grimm, aka The Thing, fighting the Silver Surfer. Now, if you're wondering if the wheel doesn't have enough issue on it, I will be adding more. I have other ideas in mind to put on it that I've not put on it yet, and obviously the more I read comics, the more will probably be added onto the wheel. Spoilers obviously to this issue. If you haven't read it, then I suggest go check it out. It's very fun, and there's a lot of good fun action in it as well. But yeah, the main story focuses on obviously Ben Grimm. The other Fantastic Four members are involved in this, but they're not really the main focus. It mostly focuses on Ben wanting to meet with Alicia again, but Alicia won't answer her phone and she's trying to avoid him basically. At least that's what Ben thinks she's trying to do. So what actually is happening here is Alicia thinks Ben doesn't want to be with her, mostly because Ben was avoiding her, because Ben felt like Alicia was just being sorry for him and didn't actually love him because of the way he looks, even though Alicia is blind and can't see Ben. Either way, it kind of led to this entire situation where they both kind of think they're avoiding each other. But Ben basically is like he has to find her and tries to go looking for her. Meanwhile, it cuts between the Silver Surfer on Earth. Basically, it's just the Silver Surfer going around Earth trying to understand humanity, because he is still very much an alien at the end of the day. Even when he stops being the Herald of Galactus, the only reason that happened is because Alicia taught him how precious humanity is, and he began to help the Fantastic Four. But basically he begins thinking about her, because she was one who taught him what humanity is basically. So he goes looking after her, and they eventually meet up. But so does Ben. But basically Ben begins to get jealous, because he thinks Silver Surfer and Alicia are dating, or at least are flirting, because to him, why wouldn't Alicia be with someone like the Silver Surfer? A silver alien from space who speaks very poetically and is overall much better looking in comparison to him. At least how he thinks. But this is obviously a misunderstanding, and it leads to a massive fight. A very fun, action-packed fight. This story is just very fun. I very much like how it's exploring Alicia and the Silver Surfer, especially because this idea of them being an item is very much set up since them meeting in the Galactus story. Was very fun to see it kind of pay off in this big action moment. The actual action is really good. It's very fun to see Silver Surfer use his cosmic abilities against a character like The Thing, who, even though compared to Silver Surfer he's not as strong, he just won't give up. He'll keep fighting. It's just very entertaining. The art is obviously done by Jack Kirby, who is very good at art. I mean, he's also just very good at creating characters. There's a reason Jack Kirby is so influential in comics, and even though some people may find his art slightly outdated, I don't know, I personally think it still holds up in a very stylistic way, and the colours and editing just look really good. You also get a lot of Kirby dots or Kirby crackles. It kind of matters what you want to call them. I think people call them different things. Now, technically the entire fight with the Silver Surfer and Ben Grimm is not the entire story. It does also cut between Wyatt Wingfoot and Johnny Storm, as they try and figure out a way to possibly free the Inhumans, who at this time were trapped in like a dome. I'm like that story. I'm very much like Wyatt Wingfoot's and Johnny Storm's friendship, but personally, I think the main standout in this issue alone is obviously this fight. I think the comic knows that. It's very much promoting itself in the cover, this idea of these two characters fighting. But even with that, the Wyatt Wingfoot stuff with Johnny Storm is still very fun. The colours in this are also great. No matter what you like, because I know some people have been saying they like when comics didn't have as much shading and the shading instead was just black ink. I like both. I don't mind either one, but there is definitely a unique style to the way older comics are coloured and how kind of vibrant they are. I very much enjoy that kind of look to these comics, even though I'm very much a fan of both styles of comic colouring. The only complaint I have is the character Wyatt Wingfoot, a Native American, is very much coloured white. Now, this is obviously because of the time period it comes from, and also older comics has an entire history of colouring characters' skin tones wrong, but it kinda just has to come with the time period. Same with certain uses of words and dialogue, it kinda very much comes with the time period this was released. Now that may put some people off of the story, what I think is completely fair, but personally for me, I can still read it and understand it was obviously a different time period, but the heart of the story is still very much there. Another aspect about The Thing and Silver Surfer, obviously making them quite different, is they look very different. What I think makes the fight kinda interesting is also very easy to tell who's who in scenes. Ori the thing being this much more bigger, kind of rockier design, and Silver Surfer is a lot more slim, and Ori the kind of one colour being white, sometimes with grey in there, gives him a very specific look that looks really cool in panels, but just kind of adds to how different they are. It adds a lot more weight to the fight, especially with the Thing being a quite heavier character and the Silver Surfer being a lot more quicker and ready for action. He's more prepared at times compared to Ben Grimm. Another panel I really like in this, and this is like the first start of the fight, is when Ben finds Alicia and the Silver Surfer. There is just a panel of that, and then one massive punch where the Silver Surfer is completely flung out of a building, destroying the wall, and it just looks really cool. It has an impact to it. It's probably one of my favourite ways to start off a fight, because the comic builds it up and you know something's going to happen, and once that punch is thrown, it's just really well done. The ending to the story is pretty okay. It's Reed and Sue trying to like calm down the situation, with them explaining that the Silver Surfer doesn't have feelings towards Alicia seemingly, and that like he's only fighting Ben because Ben fought him, so they have no real reason to hate each other. And Reed says some quite hurtful things to the Thing, but it's more just he's angry because a lot of damage has happened and a lot of not city structures, but buildings have been like completely demolished from their fight. I hope you go read this story. It's very fun, and me talking about it very much just doesn't do it justice. But if you haven't, I suggest go check it out. Especially just read Jack Kirby's Fantastic Four. Some stuff hasn't aged the best probably, but it is still very much a good series of comics, and it's very important to Marvel's history. Without the Fantastic Four and Jack Kirby, Marvel really wouldn't have the world it does. It wouldn't have the characters it does. And if you have read the story and you're just here to hear my thoughts on it, then comment your thoughts on the story, what you like about it, what you don't. And yeah, thank you for watching. If you liked this video, you can like it, or even dislike it. Do whatever you want really. But if you want to see more comic book related videos, I have more on my channel. But yeah, thank you once again, and that's all, and goodbye.